Random Roasters, episode 17, the number haunted number 17. This is Dan with yours truly, and this is on the other line is...
And I am also on the other line, and you are in the line of the other. It's Phil. That was like the weirdest intro ever, dude.
I was a rambling fool because this is the haunted episode because we lost our first audio file. We were 25 minutes in.
Oh,
and
man.
Kablooey, Vamoose, Napkin Man wiped everything out.
And we don't know what the recording quality is going to end up being for this. So this is just a haunted 17. Could be kind of crappy, but we still love you guys. And I've got the flu, by the way, Dan. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, and Philip is sick as a dog. He has the bubonic plague, and he's still recording for you guys.
Because
go ahead.
I'm committed to spreading everything I have like AIDS. We're all about viralocity and stuff. I got the flu. So now when you listen to this recording, you're going to get the flu. But, you know, it's type B, so it's not type A. And I don't know what the difference is, but you know what? I'm just that kind of person, Dan. I'm giving and I'm caring. It's how I say I love you. I just share everything.
It makes sense because, like I said on the last episode, we will always record something fresh, something new, always and forever. And this is going to be a bastardized episode because we don't know how it's going to sound. It's going to be shorter because we already talked about everything we want to talk about. We don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh, woo. Hey, well, that was episode 17, guys.
All right, thanks. 2.5 minutes or whatever long it's been. It is a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Speaking of things that should be a wrap, dude, I even remember we were talking about. We already talked about it.
So you started off with the Mr. Rogers movie.
All right, man, that is a jolly good old time. I recommend everybody out there listening, watching, reading. I don't know what else you're doing right now. Pooping as you are consuming our audio files. If you're on YouTube while pooping, don't do that. But I highly recommend watching the Mr. Rogers movie because it is a good time.
So, without giving us any spoilers, tell us a little bit about it. I mean, you can't really spoil the movie because everyone kind of knows about Mr. Rogers' life, or do they? Was there more than meets the eye? Was he a Transformer?
He was Optimus Prime before he became a Transformer.
Okay, that makes sense. I believe it.
Mr. Rogers, neighbor in disguise. So, but it's about Mr. Rogers, but kind of indirectly because there's also another main character.
Okay, that's too much.
So you learn about Mr. Rogers by him in many ways.
So so you're observing Mr. Rogers, like the perspective of observing him?
I would say it's more like you're a third-party person.
Okay.
And then, isn't Captain America named Steve Rogers?
He is Steve Rogers.
And Mr. Rogers' first name is Fred. I did not know that. I learned that from this movie.
Really?
So, they are related.
Wait, say that again?
Captain America and Mr. Rogers are relatives.
But Captain America's black.
What?
It depends on where you are in the Marvel universe, because the Falcon becomes Captain America too.
I don't know these things. I've never heard of the Falcon. All I know is the bird.
But Steve Rogers is a specific Captain America. But yeah, so they're related because they have the same last name, Dan. Are you trying to be witty?
I'm so cute, aren't I? The cutest guy in the world.
You're a peach, Dan.
I am a peach cobbler. I'm gonna gobble everything up. Okay. Speaking of gobbling things up, the Papa John's former CEO, he did an interview where he said he ate 40 pizzas in 30 days.
That's a lot of pizza.
When I first thought of that, I instantly thought of the days where he ate more than one.
I mean, I could do in my rational mind here, I could eat 3 pizzas in 2 days if I had to.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do it on the fourth day. Fourth day is I want more pizza.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Okay, would it matter if you changed the type of pizza place? Like it just tasted like a whole different type of pizza that
No,
you could kind of go 40 days?
he got 40 days, 40 pizzas in 30 days of Papa John's pizza only.
But he had different toppings though, right?
He had different toppings, but he DJ Khaled it at least 10 days. He's like, another one.
Khaled.
So,
DJ Khaled. Yeah.
that's what he did. And he's just as sweaty as DJ Khaled. Because in the interview, he is like glistening like he wiped Papa John's pizza on his face.
Does he does he have the same amount of money as DJ Khaled, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, Papa John's is everywhere. I've seen Papa John's in Malaysia. I've actually ate Papa John's pizza in Malaysia.
Really? Did it taste the same as America?
It tasted exactly the same. It's so frightening. It tasted exactly the same.
Well, that's just straight up continuity. I like that.
It was against my will. Like someone tied my hands behind my back, and that didn't go that extreme. But I did not want to eat it. But everybody else I was with did, so I kind of peer pressured or eat by myself like a loser. So I ate Papa John's. Nonetheless, he ate 40 pizzas in 30 days, and he said it doesn't taste the same. Well, if I ate anything for 30 days in a row, it won't taste the same.
Well, that's incredible though, because if he ate 40 pizzas or 40 days in a row, and he said it didn't taste the same. That should be a good thing, right?
It didn't taste as good.
Okay.
He said,
like compared to what?
You can't eat anything for 30 days in a row, and it's as good. It's supply and demand. It doesn't work out that way. Like the first piece of steak you get is not going to taste. It's going to taste so much better than the second piece.
Okay, I would love to be able to afford to do like steak for 30 days in a row and see if it tastes the same.
Oh, I for sure wouldn't. As someone who eats the same thing multiple times a week, you do get sick of it. It doesn't taste as good the fourth day, for sure. Yeah, but nonetheless, he also said he was ousted from being the CEO of Papa John's because he likes dropping the N-word in office meetings.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was in an office meeting, and I don't know the context of it. I'm imagining he said something along the lines of, our sales are down because we don't have enough N-words buying our pizza.
Nigeria's? Nagasaki's?
Nagasaki's is a good one.
Okay.
No, he was speaking of those with a darker melanin. Right?
Brazilians?
He was talking about those people who are Norwegians. That's what he was talking about.
Oh, Norwegian basketball players. I got it.
Yeah, he was talking about Dirk Nowitzki. So, but he was ousted because he used slang that is not permissible by those who are of a Caucasian kilt.
Dude, I just, I'm infuriated with that kind of stuff. I mean, but it kind of goes both ways because I believe that there are some cultural implications where, I mean, if you are immersed in a black culture and people are using it and they have accepted you like using it, then y'all can like use it freely. But I mean, if you're some just random dude and you just drop an N-bomb to some random black person, that's gonna get you beat up, or that's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but you can't use it at work.
Yeah, that's just not a word that you would use at work, like period.
Like if I saw two black dudes talking to each other and they said it all loud, I'd be like, "Yo, I'm offended."
They're like, "Who's that guy who's khaki skin telling us what to do?"
Excuse me, gentlemen. I am extremely offended by the usage of your slang words. I'm going to HR.
They're like, "What's the you out back, son?"
So Demontre and Octavius were talking, and they used the N-word at each other, and I am so offended. I couldn't finish my latte. Like, it was so mean.
Yeah, they're both Uncle Toms to each other. They're using bad words that they don't know what it means. They're just discriminating themselves.
I mean, honestly, when I use it, I don't use it in that context.
Yeah, I use it with like hand quotation marks because I can never say it in my own speech.
And I use it like all the time. I just don't do it at work. I know better. Please, you know?
Because I'm a real G. You should see me when I play Def Jam Vendetta.
That game's so old.
Oh.
Why did you pick that game?
Well, that's good. I mean, the game's full of rappers.
Dude, man, I haven't thought about that in 10 years. Easy.
I mean, if I was playing that game for like 5 hours straight, I may drop an M-bomb. I don't know.
So there was a wrestler named Randy Orton, and he was on Twitch playing a video game. I think it was like Call of Duty. I don't remember. It was like a shooter game.
Yeah.
And he dropped the N-word with an A. When he was playing like this little kid, he's like, I got you, N-word. And he's like, oh, crap. And he like ended the stream.
Did he really?
Yeah, it was. But when you say it in that context, that means
Yeah.
you say it often. It's not like something you drop randomly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, but that guy, though, saying it at work, first off's inappropriate. But, like, the fact that he had the balls just to say it that way in a meeting and stuff, that's definitely uncalled for.
Oh, for sure. And he did his first interview since being ousted. And he said there's a lot that's been untold, and a day of reckoning is coming.
Yeah, that sounds... he probably has some dirt on Papa John's or something like that, and he's going to be like, I'm going to blow this crap out of the water.
He's like, Mamma mia, pizza sauce everywhere.
There you go. So all you justice warriors out there, if you want justice, go ahead and eat some Papa John's pizza. It'll taste a little better because it's less hateful. There's less discrimination in their pizza, so it should taste a little sweeter.
Yeah, but they started using Shaq to cover up how racist he is, because now he's like a spokesman and he owns a bunch of Papa John's now.
Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that guy to call Shaquille O'Neal Nagasaki.
Dude, Shaq is impossible to listen to. He mumbles nonstop.
Didn't he have a doctorate?
Supposedly, and he's also a cop. Stop growing, Shaq.
Shaq is he's a cop in Grown Ups.
No, he's a cop in real life. He's like a volunteer cop. His dad was a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
They make uniforms big enough for him that way?
Custom made, baby boy.
Oh.
Custom made.
Man. Is he one of those good cops or is he a bad cop?
No, he's a wholesome guy. He just doesn't know how to speak properly.
And he's like, oh, I'm pulling you over today because
Yeah, I watched the NBA show he's on, and it's like you have to like really pay attention to what he's saying.
Man.
Enunciate, Shaq. Stop being so rich. You just get a vocals tutor.
He's like, did Shaq just say Shazam?
That movie was so not good.
I was a kid. The best part about Shazam was the fact that he was doing a bunch of magic things, and I just have this very vivid memory of that Arabian guy eating a goat eye. And I was like, oh my god, he had a goat eye. That's weird.
You got some good memory, man. I don't remember a single thing from that movie.
Well, there's just like little moments that are impressionable, kind of like that Mr. Rogers movie.
Yeah, man, that was a good time. I would recommend watching it. It is a tearjerker. It is going to pull on the heartstrings.
How hard is it going to jerk my tears, Dan?
I mean, you're going to have to hold it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to, if you don't.
Are we talking like a full jerk or like mild jerks?
So it depends on your jerkability.
Okay, so
it depends on how quick you are to the draw for jerking.
I mean, what if I have like extra buoyant tears?
If you are the type that is easy to succumb to the tears of a sad movie, I wouldn't say it is partly sad, but it's also emotion ridden.
Huh,
it is a movie that gets the job done. It is a movie that will make you think. It is a movie that will make you ponder your own life. It is a movie that will make you commit suicide.
So, I mean, The Joker was like the last movie that really like made you feel something like disturbed or whatever. I mean, on the feels level, though, how would you compare the movies?
Very differently, because The Joker was really more about yourself, and Mr. Rogers is how you treat others.
So, like, that's complete opposite, I guess, as far as the message is concerned.
Yeah, but there are some parallels. I mean, putting on face makeup, taking off a sweater, putting on a different sweater, it's the same thing to me.
You remember those like old urban legends about Mr. Rogers, like how he had like full sleeve tattoos?
Now that you say that, I do recall.
Yeah, like so I haven't seen the movie, but you think? I mean, did they show his arms?
They do show his arms, and they show a little bit more skin than you think.
Wait, do you get to see Mister Rogers' nipples?
If you try hard enough, yes.
I'm gonna like bring binoculars. Nipples, nipples.
I heard there's semi-nudity in this movie. I can't wait.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, and it's a little nippy.
It's a beautiful day for some nudity. So
Are the puppets nude too, or is it just Mister Rogers?
I don't want to ruin the movie for everybody.
No puppet nude scenes. Sorry, guys. The podcast is over. No one wants to listen anymore. No nude puppets.
No new puppets. There is a lot of violence, slander, and gratuitous sex scenes in the Mr. Rogers movie.
Yeah. So if you were to describe the Mister Rogers movie, it's like watching Team America and then like mixing it with the Expendables.
It's like the scenes that from Game of Thrones that everybody remembers. It's like that episode, The Red Wedding, where everybody dies.
Dang.
And it's like where the big dude smushes the other guy's face in with his thumbs.
Oh, the Mountain and Prince Oberon.
Yeah, I don't remember names. But yeah, that scene plus
Dude,
the Red Wedding.
I just remember that scream right after like the eyes kind of went in. Like his sister girlfriend was like, ah! It was like the most heartfelt shriek I've ever heard.
It was that, and then when you see Sansa, or the little one, you see her unwanted, unnecessary sex scene. It's all those things combined. Mr. Rogers movie.
Sansa's Abe. I like redheads.
No. I'm talking about. I mean, yes, she's pretty. I'm talking about the little one.
Arya.
Arya, yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, I understand everyone's dying, but why are you getting a sex scene at like 5 years old?
Yeah, so that was like, ew, I do not need to see this.
Yeah, well.
So it's like that in Mr. Rogers, and you see him undo his sweater real slowly.
And wiggle his eyebrows at the camera and be like, hey, guys.
And he's like, it's a wonderful day to undo my pants, so...
Would you help me?
Won't you be my neighbor?
Yeah, okay. So Mr. Rogers is now an X-rated movie, but
Mr. Rogers XXX. It's Rogers with 3 X's at the end.
Yeah, Rogers is actually another name for a penis.
Yeah, it's like Johnson, Rogers, same thing.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's a good movie. It's a tearjerker. You would recommend it. Do you think Tom Hanks did a pretty good job?
I do. I think some people don't like Tom Hanks. They think he's overrated. I am not one of those people. I was kind of surprised when I saw that online.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know his whole catalog. I'm not a dork. I don't know everyone's everything. But I think he does a lot of good movies. And people say he gets a free pass. Maybe he does. But on this movie, I think he did a really good job.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to screw up Mr. Rogers because he's just that nice of a guy. I mean, he was just a sweet-spirited... But yeah, he was like very, like, it was weird. He was so timid, but yet very masculine at the same time. Like, he had this, like, strength about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was very confident in himself. Like, he didn't really care what other people think. He just did his own thing.
I don't know. I prefer him with full sleeve tattoos.
It would be cool to see Mr. Rogers with, like, a mohawk doing a line of cocaine. Off the puppet house.
Wait, is this in the episode or is this just like in the movie behind the scenes?
This was like a flashback.
Okay.
In the extras, like if you stay after the credits,
yeah.
They say Mr. Rogers behind the movie scene, and then he lifts up one of the puppets. And he puts it inside out, and there's a little baggie of cocaine. And he like that all quick, and he's like, "All right, time to film again, guys." So.
And he's like super high, and he's like, all right, puppets, I'm going to puppet you, and I'm not going to wash my hands. This is going to be very unsanitary.
And he's just like, all right, time to, and maybe that's why he had so many sweaters, because he kept like a secret stash in each sweater.
Okay.
And he's like, he puts on one sweater and he's like kind of feeling around. He's like, oh, I forgot to replenish this one. Takes that one off, puts on another one. And oftentimes the sweaters didn't match what he was wearing.
Jeez.
He's like wearing like, brown, and he puts on like a green would match, like a red sweater. That don't match.
So Dan, now that we've destroyed the legacy of Mr. Rogers.
Bad fashion, coke addict.
So what was I remember? Okay, so I'm trying to remember some stuff we had in the other podcast that we're trying to like go over. You were talking about the Impossible Burger.
Yeah, so there was a lawsuit by a vegetarian individual who said he ordered the Impossible Burger, which is, for those who don't know, it's a Beyond Meat burger patty, which is meatless. And because he did so, he could taste the oil from a burger, a ground beef burger. And because of that, he sued Burger King and won a 6-figure lawsuit settlement.
That's not bad. I mean, but honestly though, is it that big of a deal?
I think it is, because Burger King knew what they were signing up for. You're appealing to people who don't typically like meat eaters. Like, I am a part-time vegetarian, and that's a weird thing to do.
Right.
Usually people are all or nothing with that. So people who are all about the vegetarian lifestyle, they're kind of annoying most of the time, honestly.
Well, how do they know what meat really tastes like, right? It's been a long time for them. How do they know?
It's very easy to tell the difference as someone who's a part-timer. So as someone who swings both ways.
I would just be like, all right, listen here, buddy. You're a terrible freaking vegetarian if you can taste this and know the difference here. It should just taste just like it.
That's a stretch. You could taste the difference.
But if you don't know what it tastes like, it just tastes like something else.
Well, regular meat is a much, much more oily than a Beyond Meat burger.
I just think people like to complain. But he won 6 figures, so that was like the complaining to cash in on for sure.
But maybe he was observant. Maybe he saw them cooking. Maybe he was the only one there, which is very often at Burger King because it's always empty because nobody likes Burger King.
Okay, hey, you know what, Dan? Simmer down.
Because the only time I see people at Burger King is if they are about to commit suicide.
Hey, Eminem likes freaking BurgerKing and spitting on your onion rings.
Is that a line?
Yeah,
is that a lyric?
It's part of it.
I don't remember that, but no one truly like that. Burger King is the only option if you're like, I guess it's the only spot that's on the drive to wherever I'm going.
Dude, no way.
Nobody's like, oh, I gotta get Burger King. Nobody. It's like the first option, Burger King. Okay. No way.
Burger King was the first chicken sandwich I fell in love with.
And how long ago was that?
When I fell in love with it, that was in the 90s.
Yeah, and how long? When's the last time you had one?
Chicken sandwich, a long time, but I've been to Burger King like last month.
What'd you get?
I got chicken nuggets because they do like 10 chicken nuggets for like $1.50.
Yeah, that is the only item there that is worthwhile.
Well, and their French fries are really good. I'm a fan of their French fries.
Yeah, they got good French fries, but the thing they're bad at is the name in their name, burgers.
Well, the thing is, okay, so now here's another rehash. I do like the charbroiled taste.
It's fake, though. No. That's fake grill. They don't actually grill. It's a flat grill. It's not a real grill with lines in it.
No, every single item is now an enemy of the Republic.
So I guess the enemy for Burger King are their customers because they lied to the vegetarian saying this is a vegetarian item, and it's not because they cook it with,
I mean, Dan, don't you know that most vegetarians are stupid? I mean, they're vegetarians. Come on, Dan. They eat grass, for crying out loud.
I would say the concept of going to a Burger King and expecting a vegetarian burger to be 100% vegetarian is a stretch.
It's pretty stupid if you ask me.
Well, I would say when I was very hungry one day and I did not feel like cooking, I went to a establishment that is not Burger King because I don't like to eat disgusting food always.
It's Popeyes.
It was Del Taco.
Oh, Dan's Deal.
Yes. And I was very committed to the vegetarian lifestyle that day.
You're such a ham.
So I ordered 3 or 4 bean burritos.
But actually, bean and cheese burritos are pretty decent.
So that was my kind of middle ground, I would say.
Okay.
But after the third one, I was like, I really wish I didn't get this many.
Well, it's just like, okay, it's like if you order something clearly vegetarian and they like screw it up, I think you should be upset about that. But I mean, if you're ordering a vegetarian item because it's supposed to taste like meat, but it's not like meat, you really want meat. And now you're gonna sue somebody. Oh, it's like, I'm sorry, this needs to taste exactly like meat, except it cannot be meat, and you can't cook it in the same oils.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get a poke bowl. You know what a poke bowl is?
I think you told me what it was. It was like a fish thing, right? Or
Yeah, it's the best ever. It's delicious. Once you come out here for California, you gotta have it. It's scrumptious. If you like sushi, you'll like a poke bowl. But one of the main items you can get is imitation crab.
Okay.
So let's say you get imitation crab. Like, this tastes like real crab. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like, this needs to be faker.
This isn't fake enough.
I can taste the oils.
This tastes like it actually came from the ocean. I don't like this.
It's too salty. Sea salt.
So, I mean, you could do that. But Burger King, they asked for it. Who are you catering to? What is this item going for? It's going for vegetarians. What do vegetarians like doing? Complaining.
That's true. And they're probably like those PETA people too.
Yeah. So who are you? These are people who are kind of snooty most of the time.
Yeah.
So I guess this one wasn't, because if you're really snooty, you're not going to Burger King.
Yeah, I bet he was watching them do it. I bet he was like,
oh, for sure. That's what I was saying. Like, he must have been the only person there because Burger King's never busy.
Yeah.
And he could have just watched the grill, and he's like, oh, that's the same grill they did the other one on.
He was like, my Nagasaki, we're doing this.
He's like, oh, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to get a whole lot of Whole Foods with this lawsuit.
There's going to be a lot of vegetables coming my way.
I'm going to have a cabbage buffet before you know it.
With oils.
I'm going to get some sea salt and almond milk, and I'm going to show you guys a thing or two.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, good on that guy for having a bunch of money, but just...
Whoa. Mr. Rogers was a vegetarian.
Was he really?
Yep.
I like him a little less now. I like him a little less.
It's a wonderful day not to consume any meat.
I don't eat meat. That's why I wear sweaters, because I have discoloring of my skin.
So he has vitiligo. That's the one you can't grow hair. He has alopecia.
I don't know. He's probably just has a skin thing.
Maybe he has AIDS. Michael Jackson had.
A mental illness.
The ability to change his nose no less than 17 times.
Mr. Rogers has the ability to hee.
The ability to get burned during a commercial.
The ability to tamona.
The ability to become a really disgusting looking individual.
The ability to...
The ability to die in a very sad way and people still hate him.
I don't know any more Michael Jackson sounds.
The ability to be changed colors. The ability, okay. Imagine if Michael Jackson was still alive. Gross to think about, because he would look really weird now.
I'm Peter Pan.
Imagine him saying the N-word.
He would get away with it. He could get away with it.
Yeah, but he'd be like, oh, high pitched, you know?
He'd be like,
imagine that.
Nagasaki. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Imagine if he did like a hip hop song at 60, whatever, how old he would be now.
Like, I want to tell all my people there, all my Nagasaki's.
Imagine if he did a song with Tyga and like Drake.
Dude, he needs to do a song with DJ Khaled.
And he's just like in the background dancing with his missing face. And he looks like a lighthouse. And he's just like, yeah, Nagasaki's.
He's just a mummy. He looks like a mummy.
Yeah, he looks like if you unwrap a mummy, you get Michael Jackson before he died.
Well, actually, that probably looks like that right now. There'll be all the plastic still there.
Oh, for sure. Like he looks, man. I was not sad when he died at all.
No, I was a little sad.
No, everyone's like, "Oh my god, he died." I was like, "Cat, don't care."
I don't know. Michael Jackson. He was special in his own way, and as far as musically is concerned, he was a legend. Okay,
Yeah, he was a legend.
You can't knock on him, but I mean, as far as his social life is concerned, there are some really puzzling things.
Almost indeed, yeah. The most egregious thing that he did, like later in his life, is he met with Paul McCartney from the Beatles.
Yeah, I know Paul McCartney.
And they met up, and he was kind of like, "Who owns all your music?" He's like, I don't know who owns all my music. He's like, "You should buy your music. That way you can use it for stuff." And then he's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And then when he got back home to England, he was looking into it, and then he found out Michael Jackson bought most of the Beatles catalog.
That makes
Michael
sense.
Jackson was a bad person from head to nose.
Oh, I see what you did there, Dan.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
I see it with my nose.
So yeah, I'm done with talking about Michael Jackson. It's so old.
I mean, he's been. Oh man, there's so many Michael Jackson jokes. I heard a Michael Jackson joke literally, like, 10 minutes after he died, like online.
Yeah.
Like I was
For
like,
sure.
dang.
Man, I mean, like the last person I was really sad that passed away that was a musician was David Bowie.
I was really bent out of shape with Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell.
Okay, yeah, those are more recent, but I was definitely the most sad from David Bowie.
I mean, he had cancer, right? He died of cancer.
Yeah, he died like within days of releasing his last album.
It just goes to show though that like no matter how much money you have, when your time's up, your time's up.
Yep.
So
your time is up. My time is now, John Cena.
You can't see me because I'm dead.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't say that. It was like right there, and you couldn't resist.
I couldn't, dude. It's the vegetarian in me.
Yeah, those were sad for sure, and I don't know why we're talking about death so much.
I don't know.
It's not about racism. Let's go back to Papa John slinging racism and eating lots of pizza,
dropping that Nagasaki. Yeah, I mean, what was that one story about that one kid that you knew? You told the story in the first.
Oh yeah, I told this on the first episode that went bye. So.
Doodle.
So when I was like 16, I was in high school and we were in PE, and this white dude, he was dropping the N-word out of nowhere. Like it was Wednesday and he was like, "Hey, what up, guys?" And Thursday he's like, "Hey, what up, my N-word?" And we're like, "What? You can't just use that word
out of nowhere." Like, do you think he was cool saying it? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think he thought it was cool. He had like bleach blonde hair too,
like the Justin Timberlake stuff.
Yeah, he was like, everyone bleached their hair back in the day. And I was like, "Kevin, you can't use that word. You better watch yourself." And no one of Nagasaki Elk was there.
Oh, yeah?
And then, like, the next day, he was using it again. And Sean, it was from the Nagasaki clan. And he overheard him.
Oh,
and
man.
Sean was a pretty big guy. And he was about to beat him up. And I was like, "Sean, you don't want to get in trouble over this." And then literally we all left. We finished PE early. We got out for lunch. And Kevin went up to an individual of the Nagasaki clan named Leon. And Leon was an individual you don't want to mess with because he was a starting running back for the high school team. So he was a pretty buff guy.
Yeah.
And Kevin just like strolls up to him. Nobody's around because we got out early. Like, imagine your high school like 2 minutes before lunch starts. There's nobody around. And Kevin's like, "What up, my Nagasaki?"
Oh,
and
man.
Leon just looks at him. He's like, "What'd you say to me?" And Leon wore eyeglasses. So Leon like took off his eyeglasses real quick, and he just uppercutted him straight like to Vietnam.
So was it like a Street Fighter style, like a hyper uppercut?
He did like he did a Ryu spin and everything.
Man.
he leveled him, like knocked him out. It actually got like he fell to the ground, and Leon like kind of got on top of him and started throwing bombs still. And I was like, oh, he deserved the first 7, but after 7, it's kind of too much now.
Oh man.
So everyone, like the bell rang, everyone's like, oh my God, there's a fight. It's over. I'm like, people, it's over. He knocked him out. You guys are just watching a attempted murder now. So, but yeah, it was so graphic. It was so awesome. Because it's been almost 20 years, and I still vividly remember that moment.
There's just, little memories in life that just never go away, And
I was yeah, for sure. And I was so happy I knew it was about to happen, because my buddy and I were about to walk the other direction. And then I kind of grabbed my buddy. I was like, wait, stay here. And he's like, looked at me, and then he said it in front of him. And I kind of nudged him. I was like, I told you. And then boom, everything happened. I was like, oh, I'm so happy at myself. I recognized when a felonious event was going to take place. It's one of my proudest moments in life that I witnessed it, and did absolutely nothing to stop it.
Well, it happened. It happened because he didn't get beat up by your friend. But you instead made it even better, because now your friend was out of harm's way and you got to enjoy devastation.
Oh, yeah, because Leon definitely beat him up better than Sean could have.
Okay.
So it was a win-win-win-win-win lose for Kevin, but he deserved it. So win all around. So yeah, that's the wise words from episode 17, the bastard episode. If you see someone deserving to get a whooping, don't do nothing. Just watch.
Yeah, someone else will do it for you, and they'll be more of a naga.
Yeah, if there's someone asking for trouble, just watch, and they'll get their comings sooner or later. And then you can enjoy it more. Like the only thing I wish is I had food. Like I had some popcorn. That's the only thing that could have made it better. And that's the message. Like I watched Mr. Rogers, and what I learned from that wholesome individual is don't stop any violence.
I like it. And Mr. Rogers is a drug addict.
And Mr. Rogers was always cold because he was always coming down from cocaine.
Oh man. All right, guys. So this is episode 17, the abridged version of it. And again, this one's a little shorter. I'm under the weather, and Dan is under the gun of whose gun are you under, Dan?
I am under the gun of Joseph Stalin.
So he's definitely under the gun of socialism and communism, and it's a great way to end the episode, because we're gonna talk about that, where everyone should have Rain and Roast podcast. Everyone should have it, and
yeah, definitely. And since this is a shorter episode, if you want more, you got to follow us on social media. You got to go to R Roast Info on Instagram, the same name, R Roast Info on Twitter and TikTok. I mean, we're about to hit 100 followers on Instagram. You could be the 100th follower, and then I can send you a message and give you a thank you. And maybe I could help you. I have a good eye for violence. Maybe I can meet up with you, and then we could watch some violence together. We could do that.
I condone that. I condone.
We won't start it. I mean, I am good at starting fights, though. Like, I could be like, what'd you say to me? Or like, didn't you mean that instead? Why'd you say in that tone? I'm that guy, and then I can just walk away and like in the background.
Oh, man.
So, but yeah, you can be the 100th follower. We're going to start doing more stuff. You can watch the Napkin Man video from last week. If you didn't watch it, you got to go back and watch it. It's fully on Instagram. I said it would only be a minute on Instagram. The whole video is capable of watching on Instagram. If you don't even do Instagram, if you are behind the times, if you are stunted, if you are a person who don't like computers, if you're a person who just doesn't know what they're doing in life, and you just use YouTube, you can go on YouTube with the videos on there too. I am rambling like I just did cocaine, like I did cocaine with Mr. Rogers. It is so good.
So now that you guys have been thoroughly ear massaged with Dan doing his coke runs, episode 17's in the wraps, guys. We appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Seriously, check us out on all the social medias. Send us a message. Share the podcast. Leave us stars and likes and comments and whatever goes on the iTunes side or the Podbean side. But we appreciate you guys, and we will give you guys another update on listeners and new regions coming very soon. So without further ado, Dan, do you have anything else you want to cram in?
Absolutely not. I'm completely out of energy now.
All right. Well, all of my people from Nagasaki out there, word.